Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife, and today I have a memory decks process for you. I am working in Worthy of the Wait from Creative Retreat Kits, and it has been a while since I have created a Faith Decks card. I'm super excited. I have gathered some different materials. I actually photocopied the back of this card because I like to keep the devotional intact, but I love this print on the card, and so I wanted to be able to use it in my memory decks card. You can see I copied it a couple of times. I kind of played with the settings on my printer, so you might want to make sure. I didn't know that mine was not photocopying at the highest quality, and you can see what a big difference. Of course, it's still not as beautiful as the printing from Creative Retreat Kits, but it's getting closer here, so I think this will work great for my memory decks card. I will end up putting you guys on fast forward. I'll link all the supplies down below. Otherwise, let's go. All right, I'm going to start out by trimming out this photocopied paper. I did print it on pretty good cardstock that is a bright white so that it would have some weight to it. I'm going to actually end up trimming it down to 4 inches by 6 inches because I think what I want to do is actually fold it in half so that it can have a hidden prayer spot in the middle of it. So what I'll do is just bring up my scoring board and I will score it right at 3 inches, and I'll score the other side, and then when I fold it I will be able to have a place on the inside of the Faith Decks card to add a prayer and then be able to do some artwork and such on the outside of the card. That's one of my favorite things to do with these Faith Decks cards, is to have kind of a hidden prayer spot, because they do just sit out, and this one especially is one that I just wanted to pray to God and to just reflect on what the waiting felt like, and how sometimes waiting is hard and it hurts, and we can still trust in God through the heartbreak of the waiting. And so that's kind of what I was focusing on. So that's, a hard prayer that I wanted to kind of have not out on display, but still was important for me to reflect on. Okay, so while I was talking about that, I did fold it in half, and I actually did trim the corners with my Heidi Swapp corner trimmer because I like it rounded, and then I used the Memory Decks punch to punch the appropriate holes so that it will work in my Memory Decks box. And now I have some Distress Oxide. I chose the tumbled glass, and then this is Lucky Clover, just to bring in a little bit of that pretty vibrant green that is in this kit. Again, I love the color combination for this kit. I just think it is really unexpected, so I think it's a lot of fun to work with, especially this time of year. Okay, truthfully, the inspiration for this whole card came from this tiny little tag stamp that I thought was so cute. And so I actually pulled out some different scrap paper from my stash that I thought coordinated with the colors of the kit pretty well. And what I'm doing, it looks like I'm stamping out a million of these tags. I'm just trying to get 2 really good impressions. So I'm going to stamp out 8 different tags, and then I'm going to cut them out, and I want them to look like they are hanging on a string on the front of my Faith Decks card. And I'm going to use the alpha stickers that come with the kit that are just so cute. Love all of the colors, and I'm going to use those to spell out the word faithful on these tags. So again, like they're on a string, kind of just floating across the card. So I will just trim out all of the tags I needed. I've sped this up a lot, obviously, so I'm gonna alternate the colors because it is such a busy background that I chose that I really wanted the colors to stand out, and I wanted to be able to incorporate a lot of the colors that were in the kit. So I have 4 different colors. They will each repeat once, and then I will just look to those alpha stickers to spell out the word faithful. And I'm trying to decide which one will go, what color will go on what. So I decided the white will go on this kind of icy light blue, and I kept having trouble getting it crooked on this little card just because I couldn't see with my big fingers in the way. It's such a tiny little tag. It is a tiny, tiny little piece. So I finally start to get the hang of it. Spelling out the word faithful. And again, these alpha stickers are just so adorable. I love that we get 4 colors now. I hope that we just do these alpha stickers forever and ever. I think they're so cute. I love the font this month. I love how the kit is kind of changing and adapting to just different styles, and these are definitely pieces that I'll be able to use in other craft projects, not just with my creative retreat kits or with my Bible journaling, but definitely in other projects around my craft room as well. All right, and I'm just gonna play with the placement. Again, I wanted it to just kind of look a little bit messy, just kind of strewn about the card. So I will adjust it ever so slightly as I start to place them on. I end up deciding to use these adhesive dots, these 3D foam dots to kind of pop up the tags. Like I said, it's a very busy background, but I do love it. However, when I pop them up, you can just see it a little bit more. They just stand out a little bit more. So I'll add a couple dots behind each one, and then I'm going to bring in some string, and I'm going to add some twists of string. One of my favorite things to do. So I just twist it around a couple fingers, trim it off, and then I know that I want to sew on this as well. So I'm actually just going to use a sticker from the kit to kind of hold the strings in place before I sew, and then once I sew, they'll be held nicely. So I'll add a couple. This next one ends up getting a little bit crazy. I don't know. I just didn't adhere it down very well. I used one of the stickers from the kit, again, just grabbing one of the little crosses here, the little plus signs, and then it gets really messy and it gets a little crazy, but that's okay. So I take it to the sewing machine, and what I do is sew through the top of those tags. So it does look like there's a string going through each tag, and then I will use the a couple more stickers from the kit to kind of anchor down some of these strings that got a little bit unwieldy, but I don't mind. I like the texture hanging off. I like when things hang off my Faith Decks cards because I think it's fun to add dimension and to try some different things. I am almost done with the front of the card right here. I want to add one more sticker. I think I wanted to do Faithful Waiting, but then I changed my mind. I really didn't like how that looked, and I just want to add the sticker Hopeful Prayer, and that's kind of a reminder that inside this Faith Decks card there is a prayer, and I add just one more little sticker, and now I'm going to take my attention to the inside. So I have all of that sewing that went through the front, and I want to kind of cover it up, reinforce it. So I'll add a little bit of the washi tape right over the top of it. It doesn't cover it completely, but it covers a lot of it, and I'll just trim that off. And then I knew for sure I was going to use the sticker that says, even when I don't see it, you're working, because that's definitely the feeling, the trusting that I wanted to hold on to. It's been a time of trial for me personally, a time of waiting, and it's hard. Waiting is hard, and so praying to God and letting Him know that you are trusting no matter what, that you know He hears your prayers, and that He hears you in the waiting, and He sees you in the waiting, and it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And we go back to the devotional and we think of the story of Zechariah and Elizabeth, and there's no way it was easy to wait for that long for something that they longed for so much. So this is just a prayer to God, kind of reinforcing that He hears my prayers. I know He hears me, and I know He's planning goodness for me, and that I will keep trusting in Him no matter what. And as I write in my prayer, I am mixing in some of the word fetty that comes with the kit, just because I like that that layered effect as they kind of mix in that change of handwriting versus the little word fetty. And we're almost done. I'm going to take these alphas again and add the word amen here at the bottom, and that also serves to bring in a little bit of that coral color, which wasn't really on the inside of the card at all. And now I feel like it needs a little bit more of the coral color, so I definitely add that little heart up there, and then a few other little hearts just to bring colors and kind of move them around the top of the card, and it is done. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button. There are a lot of great videos here on the Creative Retreat channel, so make sure to check them all out. All of the supplies I used are linked down below. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.